Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. So, we are continuing on with the main scenario quest. Let us go ahead and speak to Y'shtola over here. We have the requisite consent. It is time to put Nama's power to use. If the Aether flows as planned, all that remains is to have the Ironworks engineers do their work at the ruins. Come, let us return to the House of the Crooked Coin. And off we go! I shall begin at once. You may wish to step back.
Did it work?
It did. Ether may flow freely to the burn once more.
So that's it, huh? Alright, let us speak to Hian then. I do not pretend to understand what you did, Y'shtola, but you did it. Thanks to you, and Prince of course, we have taken a momentous step towards securing our defenses. Now, as much as I believe a rest is in order, we should probably make haste back to the Enclave. Agreed. The others may already have returned from their missions. I would know how things stand. As would I. Without further ado then. Alright, so back to the Doman Enclave we go. Judging by your triumphant expressions, I take it all went well on the Azim Steppe? Indeed, we have secured a suitable source of energy for the barrier. Good. Totaro and I have commissioned Garland Ironworks to ensure the field generators function as they should. A team of engineers stand ready to set out for the burn at a moment's notice. You need only say the word. I thank you for engaging their services on our behalf. The minutiae of the arrangement you may leave to me. Which just leaves the small matter of our alliance. So, Yugiri, Hakuro, how fared you with our neighbors? My lord, all of the factions we approached are in agreement that the Empire poses a threat, and many responded positively to talk of an alliance. From Hingashi to Suino Sato, however, we received outright rejections. The former will not break its treaty with the Empire. The latter will not involve itself in conflict. Just as we expected then. Well, there is naught to be done about it. We must focus on the rest. To each of the nations we were amenable to an alliance. I will personally send a missive. And once I have attended to that, I believe we will have done everything we can to fortify Doma's defenses. For the time being, at least. All of which means I may leave for a meeting in Alamigo with a lighter heart. Yugiri, Hakuro, if you would be so kind as to hold the fort in my absence. My friends, we could not have achieved so much in so little time without your help. For that, I give you my heartfelt thanks. Till the meeting, then. I took the liberty of asking Thancred to attend as well. He should have arrived in the Alamigan quarter by now. Let us not keep him waiting, shall we? Alright, so back to the Alamigan quarter we go. Looks like we are headed over to here. Stola has told me all, and I duly told Urianger and Kryl. Kryl, in particular, was concerned about Alpha, but I assured her that everything that can be done is being done. She agreed to continue with her own tasks for the time being, on the condition that I contact her the moment there is any development. So that leaves 4 of us to attend the council. Our involved is here to assist with security, incidentally, though the poor lad seems altogether too distracted for the task. Another one missing Alphino, I suspect. Ah, but it's almost time. As soon as you are ready, present yourself to the guardsmen at the palace entrance. I shan't be far behind. Alright, let's speak to the guard. Ah, the Scions of the 7th Dawn. Welcome to Alamigo. The Alliance leaders have already arrived. May I show you to the meeting chamber? Upon proceeding to the royal palace, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you have set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Well, we just started today, so let's go!
Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin, it gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Alamigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
The pleasure is ours, Your Grace. I know I speak for all Alamegans when I say that we are glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
And we, for our part, are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
Nay, 'tis we who must thank you for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss of me not to acknowledge the part the Scions of the 7th Dawn have played in bringing all of us together. In times of great unrest, you and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
The day I lost my arm and my freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council. I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphino. Would that the lad could be with us.
I too owe my presence here to Alphino, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Come, friends. Let us leave the past in the past and turn our eyes to the future. My Lord Hien, pray, tell us how things stand in the East.
Having heard the rumors of dissent in Garlemald, I dared to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways. If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Alamigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations. But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
The winds suggest but one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Scions.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Our objective is clear. The question is how to achieve it. That our enemy parades about in Xenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Scions, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
You have an idea?
Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the Scions, and you mayhap best of all. Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal is thus. We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Alamigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
Not to mention if he was forced to summon a primal.
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Ordinarily not. But prior to his miraculous recovery, rumors of Xenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Xenos heir apparent. Family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all welcomed his choice of successor, however. There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Xenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces would be too enticing to ignore.
The Empire would not be quick to recover from a second war of succession.
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory. With a team of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest, the plan should have a reasonable chance of success.
Doma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act, and act we must. What say you all?
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity. 'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace. Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
That way. Sorrow.
Huh?
History must be changed.
Does that voice sound so familiar? Wait, is that the Warrior of Darkness? I don't understand.
Ahead looms a calamity. Ahead looms light, expunging all form and life. Twin dooms only you can forestall. Only you.
What's the matter?
There's a voice!
Spies in our midst?
Nay, I sense no such presence.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Is it over?
Master Thancred!
12 for Fend. Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready. Swiftly!
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
What could have done this? And why just him and not the others?
I'm afraid we could not identify the cause, my lady. Our examinations revealed no wounds, nor the presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse. You're to let us know the moment there's any change, all right?
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
In gifting us a course of action, Thancred sowed the seed of all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits of our labors. Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
Alize and I heard a voice in the moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
Not really the same thing.
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely?
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Called?
I myself examined Thancred. Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul. That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether, a consequence of his prior possession by the Ascian La Hebrea. The owner of the voice, whoever it may be, reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being called to?
I know not. Yet one thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
Forgive us, Lys, but may we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore, but I'm no less a friend. Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lys. As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we discount the possibility of Ascian involvement.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
Definitely for the best. And once again, I'm still curious about that voice. It sounded so familiar, like it actually was the Warrior of Darkness. But I don't know. It's been a while though, so I might be misremembering what his voice sounded like. I just tried to call Urianger on his link pearl. He didn't respond, but I dare to hope that he possesses some knowledge we do not. Ah, Urianger. Something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. A disembodied voice suddenly started... What? But that's... We should talk about this in person. Alright, we'll meet you there. That was Urianger. He heard the voice too. Vanoran? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicions, but if the voice also spoke to Urianger, there can be little doubt. Scions were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is the question. One to which we must find an answer with all possible haste. We've learned the emote Endure. Alright. Urianger agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the Elder Seedseer. But if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. Right. let's be on our way.
Urianger! Gods, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Scions doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Alamigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes. I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin. Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed. I shall make it my task to...
Again?
The voice... it calleth to me once more.
I hear it too.
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Urianger!
Throw wide the gates.
Which gates?
No! No, this can't be happening! Y'shtola! Urianger! Open your eyes! Open your eyes, I beg you! Say something! Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
So Urianger and Y'shtola are also down at this point. leaving very few members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn left. Forgive me. That was an unseemly display. It happened before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. You have borne the two of them to a private chamber. Tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Alamigo? I'm afraid so. Though, given the circumstances, it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he should be brought here. Take heart, my lady. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades, and how it may be cured. Thus will we rouse them, no matter what. That we will, Jorge. Will. But first things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Oh, I promised I'd visit someone in Limsa. He's been waiting at Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. Alright, so we need to make our way over to Limsa then. And let's hit the Aethernet, do the aft castle. And the Maelstrom Command we go. As you probably guessed, it's Gabu we've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit as often as I can. And after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain.
Here he is, my lady.
Gabu, it's been too long.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well.
That's a weird thing for you to say, considering what happened back at the Binding Coils?
But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
Well, still have me.
And for that, I am grateful. I don't know what I would do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
Indeed. Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. Alright, let's make our way back over to Mordona then. Alright, let's speak to Alizé. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Flore is right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our own experts on such matters, but they're both among the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Minfilia had a wealth of connections between them. I mean to explore those avenues too. We'll find a way to save everyone. Mark my word. Much and more has happened in recent days. Some of it for the good, some not so. But all around me will continue their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphino, to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire. They march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise you'll visit from time to time, and I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. Alrighty. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then, thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree?
Both still alive.
What? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern. Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The Founding Father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos.
Oh, that's quite the reveal there.
Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power. And there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Allagan.
that's one way to shut him up.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Such a waste of time and energy. Both yours and mine.
I kinda had the feeling that sort of thing happened every day or so here.
Lest you forget, you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you, pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
I do have to kind of wonder now, though, what part that whole War of Succession was really supposed to do in all this. If this Ascian could simply come back at will. Or no, I think he said Elidibus sent him back. Or maybe there was something beyond that. Meanwhile, at a resistance encampment somewhere in the Empire. At least he's still alive there. What in the world? Dead. All dead. I see no wounds, nor any evidence of battle. Damn. They finally used it. The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Gurabania, a gas. Black Rose, it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. And that did this? I thought the project abandoned and its vile fruit destroyed, but naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. Fools. What do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? Nay, wait. This is not the work of men, but monsters. The Scions. cannot be a coincidence that their trail led us here. Their objective was never to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Such a crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Scions, put an end to their plot. So when are you gonna tell him your name, Gaius? Alright, and so with that, the main scenario has been cleared for patch 4.4. And so with that, we still have a couple of things that we need to attend to. Obviously, the next part of the Omega Raid is still forthcoming, but for the rest of the day, we're actually going to take a look at one more dungeon and also a new trial that opened up. So, let's make our way over to Rulger's Reach first. And the quest to unlock the dungeon is over here. Secret of the Ooze. Prince, you're a hard bloke to find. I heard you'd thrown in your lot with the Resistance, so I came here looking for you. Truth is, we've run into a spot of bother back at the Arboretum, and could use your help. If you're not too busy breaking your fast on Garleans, or whatever you've been doing out here, we'd be glad of your expertise. If you fancy lending a hand, I'll be over at St. Malkane's. Alright, let us make our way over to Idleshire. Or no, St. Is that right? Yeah, that's where it is. That seems to be a feature we haven't actually done anything with yet. Anyway, that's not where we're focused on here. We need to make our way out of town and to the south. The question is, what exactly has happened inside here that they need help again? Let's find out. I knew you couldn't resist. Now, before you go slaying everything in sight, let Midnight 2 explain our predicament. Good to see you back in Dravania, Prince. The place hasn't been the same without you. You're probably wondering why I sent Sani to fetch you. It's all down to this mucky little pop-pop girl. When I saw it come bounding out of the Arboretum, the first thing I noticed, besides it being covered in grime, is how bleeding lively the little sod seemed to be. We had our old friend Egith take a look at it, and she reckons that layer of mud is what's making it so excitable. It's got this daft seedkin jumping around like a mad Poroko. So I imagine what it could do for our crops in green grub mud plots. And that's where you come in. There should be more of this gunk inside the Arboretum. But we have one small problem. It also affects the more troublesome species of flora, making them downright lethal. We want to send Egyth to look into it, but it's not safe with a bunch of botanists eating plants making a nuisance of themselves. What say you, Prince? Fancy giving them a bit of pruning? Let's do it! Alright, hard mode has been unlocked. Let's go ahead and queue up for this here. And instant queue lets us in. Alrighty, here we go. Surprised, the music sounds like we're in outdoors Dravana. Sounds really distorted. I'm kind of surprised they went with this choice for the music, to be honest. seems a little troublesome here, but overall, we're taking him down. Alright, on to the first boss. Seem like there's too much to this boss just yet. Oh, we got a stack mechanic. There's no avoiding that. Alright, first boss down. And down we go. So this seems to be taking us back maybe to where we stopped the last time. In here. Those are some big AoE circles. Yeah, I really can't get over this choice of music here. It's kind of odd, actually. I mean, I get it. They typically do some dungeon music using what is available in the overworld, but at the same time, this is like almost exactly the same aside from those distortions. I think what's happening over time in these fights is the plants are kind of growing up a little bit. At least that's how it seems to me. Alright, here's the second boss. Alright, let's get this going. There appear to be a castle. Okay, we've seen a mechanic like that before. Not exactly like that, but something similar from Lakshmi. I think. Was that their name? It was one of the, Actually, no. If that's the case, we haven't... Yeah, we haven't actually covered the Warring Triad yet, so... that'll be happening in the future. Alright, down goes the second boss. wonder what this thing does. Oh, that cleans them off. Okay. I wonder if I could drag this guy in. Oh, yep, that works too. I'm guessing these two are green at this point. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that's a flare. Alright, let's get this going. What's this? I guess that stuff should be blocked by this platform here. Yeah, there we go. most part, this guy seems fairly straightforward. I guess we are starting to run out of platforms, though. Alright, there goes the limit break. That finishes it off. Got it, so he was holding back the fresh water from coming in. Alright, let's get out of here. Fresh air at last. I tell you, it's clammier than a goblin's arse crack in there. I got out a few moments ago, but I won't be going back in any time soon. I saw that you cleared the path for Midnight Dew and get Egget, though. Hopefully they'll be on their way back about now. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Oh, you must be Prince. I'm Egget, a botanist of sorts. Perhaps Sonny or Midnight Dew mentioned me? Or perhaps not. Anyway, I'm very grateful to you for helping us discover the secret of that bizarre ooze. You see, the research materials we found mention a concoction for rapidly turning plant matter into compost. It seems the mud was used to cultivate the ingredients for the formula. According to the Charlian reports, well, I'll spare you the details of its botanical jargon. Let's just say the mud makes seedkin, in a word, angry. Growth formula for plants is all well and good, unless they're the sort that's liable to bite your bloody head off. Yes, I'm surprised the Charlians didn't keep it in a safer place. In any case, we can use their findings to breathe new life into the soil of Gervania. As for the seedkin, a little water washes the mud right off. Allow me to demonstrate. How about a bit of pruning instead? I'm with Prince on this one. Covered in muck or not, it's a bleeding nuisance either way. Now, leave the poor thing alone. I'm sure it'll behave itself. And more importantly, it looks like we found a way to improve our dwindling harvests. We couldn't have done it without you, Prince. I'll make sure that when the locals start tucking into all those lovely crops, they'll know who to thank. Alright, and with that, there's one more thing we're going to check out here today, and for that, we need to head over to Tamamizu. And let us go and speak Unshin over here. How kind of you to pay us a visit, Prince. Now I need not summon you. But a moment ago, a certain surly cat returned with another missive addressed to you. Speak for yourself. Brave adventurer who stood fast and quelled the raging Aramitama of my comrade, Yako. The time has come for you to return to Ryzen Temple. I presume the auspices of Hell's Lid have need of you once more? If so, give my regards to them and dear Soroban. Alright, so we need to make our way down to Hell's Lid once again. For that, we need to take a little trip in the ocean. Just about there. Actually, come to think of it, I think that's one of my hunt targets right there. Let's take this one down real quick. There we go, and we even got the achievement Ranger Game number 2. Dr. Merla, as we saw last time, Y'shtola has certain people she's looking for, I suppose. That plus she is, well, currently indisposed based on the main scenario's current predicament. Let's see. Actually, I need to speak to Furry here. Alright, Genbu, what's up? Well met, Prince, well met. But wait, where is the little urchin girl of whom I have grown so fond? I would be remiss of us to proceed without her, would it not? Why not summon her with that trinket of yours, your link pearl? Hello? Prince, is that you? Huh? Right now? Very well, if you insist. What wondrous things, these link pearls. Now then, let us wait until your friend arrives. Prince Genbu. Ah, good of you to join us, little urchin girl. You know, there is such a thing as running a joke into the ground. Pleases me to inform you that thanks to your assistance with his training, Soroban's strength has grown by leaps and bounds. Ere long we may count him among our most formidable warriors. Out of curiosity, where is Soroban anyway? Engrossed in a very special exercise, I'm afraid. Trust me when I say he would not want you to see him in this current state. Working up a sweat, no doubt. Glad to hear it. But I called you here not to discuss our Kojin friend. The wards have grown weaker, presaging Horyu's inevitable escape. Before he breaks free, the four lords must marshal their strength. And so, Prince, I must entreat you to quell the raging Aramitama of a dear comrade once more. A fight, is it? That's where our warrior of light shines. Who's his opponent this time? See for yourself. You should be joining us shortly. It has been too long, elder brother. Several 100 years by my reckoning. Am I to assume you have kept your silent vigil all this time, Suzaku? Let us not speak of such things. You bade me come hither for another purpose. That I did. Horyu's wards grow weaker by the day, and the calamity he would visit upon us dries not. Four lords must join their strength together once more. And to that end, this warrior would unburden my tortured soul. Just so. His is a power far surpassing that of mortal men. He is heir to the legacy of Tenzin. Brother, how dare you compare this creature to that shining paragon of virtue, of kindness, you sully his memory. And you dare think yourself his equal, his better? Then I will put you to the proof. When you fall, it will be a fate most deserved. Turn back if you would not have it be so, or join me in misery. Compared to Byakko, he seems much more angry. Aramitama feeds upon her grief and fuels her rage. She yet mourns a love lost. But it is not my place to speak. Go to her, brave warrior. Learn the truth of her heart. Doctor, I'm gonna give it my best shot, but of course, that relies also upon the companions that I am matched with. You crave battle then, even if it brings you your death. Out of duty, you pit yourself against enemies ever stronger, without hesitation, without fear. Muster your courage, and... No, you are not even a pale shadow of his glory. There was but one man fit to wear the mantle of hero. He has long since passed from this world. If so, then the Ruby Sea will be consumed by Horyu's fiery judgment, and we, her sworn protectors, will have failed in our duty. Is Tenzin's memory so sacred that you would doom this land out of spite? Oh, Byakko, do you not see? Before I called you brother, I was but a bird who loved a man. Perhaps that was all I was ever meant to be, for I can brook no replacement at my side or in my heart, not so easily as you. Have you forgotten his final moments? How he fought and died to defeat Koryu? How he sacrificed himself before our very eyes? How dare you ask me that? Every detail is forever seared into my mind's eye. Blackened scar upon my soul. How could I possibly forget? Nor should you. Nor will I ever forget the day. Will I forget every day we spent together on the road. But to exalt the past over the present, to live life in mourning and never move on, is to dishonor his memory. Dare you speak to me of dishonor? You who have opened our home to this pretender. I see him plainly. How he has wormed his way into your hearts. Mimicking Tenzin's manner, cloaking himself in his scent, seeking to supplant Tenzin in our minds. Listen to yourself, my sister. The Arimatama has driven you to see Oni in shadows. Let it be quelled before your soul is forever lost. Only to Tenzin would I entrust my soul. Only his love will I accept. Nothing to fear from me. He said, oh Tenzin, very well, I will brook no delay. I will await you in the depths, in my place of mourning. When it is ended, I shall mourn you too. Forgive her, Prince. She is yet consumed by her failure to save Tenzin all those years ago. Her regret is a festering wound. Love she bore him gave her strength once. Alas, though the Arimatama has found purchase in her soul. It feeds on her grief and despair. It is plain that your presence troubles her as well. She senses your blessing, and it reminds her of him. There were moments when she looked on you with a fire in her eyes. When she gives herself to the Arimatama, she may surrender to her delusions as well. If so, do not be alarmed by what she says. Stand fast and free her from her torment. Not to worry. One, she commands many powers, including the ability to manipulate geomagnetic currents. Only by remaining observant will you survive. Alright, Hell's Gear is available now. And good to see you, Joey. Let's go ahead and get this started. Looks like there's a small wait here, but that should not last for too long. While we wait, let's take a look at the description here. As the return of the Mad Auspice Koryu draws ever closer, Gindu and the Four Lords seek to marshal his comrades' strength. While the White Tiger Byakko has been restored to his senses, Radiant Suzaku is on the verge of succumbing to the Oh, there we go. The Arimatama. That was fast. Alright, let's do this thing. So I'm seeing some birds on the ground, and given that she looks like a phoenix, I'm expecting they're probably going to revive at some point here. And... yeah, so ads go in the middle, kind of figured that, so everybody can AoE them down. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this started. Here we go.
Tendance his eye! Sheathe your sword, I beg of you! You gave me the strength to rise from the ashes!
Alright, so I can tell that this is going to be some sort of a puzzle here. Alright, so yeah, the birds go down faster. Kind of saw that last time as well. With how quick the timing was on that last boss. Over in the burn, so it seems Square is actually, even in the normal mode, starting to require DPS checks or something. They're down. I guess we just gotta pick one then. Yeah, that happens really fast.
I could not bear to lose you again!
Guessing that's what this is for. Alright, so we need to stand. Okay, so the arrow points to the way we need to look, I suspect. Yeah, that just gave me a buff. This is going to be even more of a DPS race then. Because if you don't pick up all the orbs, you're not going to have all the damage ups you're going to need.
in me, my love.
Right,
I will
here comes the
protect
ultimate.
you, I promise. Please, my love.
And somebody fell off.
Only you would listen.
Now that player does not have all the DPS they're gonna need. Okay, thankfully it was just a healer, so we haven't actually lost that much and she's gonna knock you around too.
Why do you do this?
There are marks I'm seeing here. It's tethered to a bird. That bird seems to be making this thing go up. Might be a damage though. And just for reference, I'm not really paying attention to chat. I'm more focused on what's actually happening. Loop is for frame. Circles. Limit break is ready, but I'm hoping they're going to hang on to that just in case the healer needs it.
Hearken to my melody.
So, yeah, we got symbols over here. I'm not sure. Was that the order that the things went up in? I need to see it again for sure. Oh, actually, I can see it right now. No, it's... Oh, actually... Ah, it's heading right to left.
All I ever wanted was for you and I to
Let's just make sure that that's actually what's happening. The bird's head counterclockwise, touches the symbol, and indeed. Okay, got it. They displayed on both sides, though. And again, I guess it could just follow forward. There goes the limit break.
Take them, please!
Hey there, I.
Hearken to my melody.
There we go. Wait. Alright, let's get out of here. How long have I been blinded by this dream? This never-ending nightmare, unable to escape the memory of my beloved. I owe you an apology, brave warrior, as well as my life. In spite of the crude and disrespectful way I treated you, you nevertheless risked your life to free my heart from the terrible delusion which threatened to consume my soul. For the first time in centuries, I can reflect on my time with the man I so deeply loved, without being driven to tears. I was born into this world long ago, blessed with crimson plumage that shone like blazing fire in the sun. My form was likened to that of the firebird of legend, a being said to have power to confer immortality on mortal men. Thus was I pursued endlessly by those who yearned to conquer death. Them, all mankind, I was no more than a means to an end. But Tenzin did not look upon me so. To him, I was so much more. He would become everything to me. Together we traveled, we four lords and the samurai. Comrades in arms, we journeyed the realm, feared at first by many for our nature. But Tenzin would not close his heart to the people's plight. Not once did he hesitate to proffer a helping hand, and one by one he won over those who once cursed and condemned us. Either Oni in the east to slay, or Revenants in the west to exercise. Without hesitation would he bid us rise to the challenge, and leave grateful men and women to spread the word of our deeds, words which, one day, reached the ears of a king. It was by the king's order that we battled the mad auspice Koryu. Despite the many creeds to our credit, we four had only lived some few centuries, and were no match for our foe. Against the might of Koryu's raging Arimitama, my brothers and I were powerless. Tenzin, brave Tenzin, he would not be denied. At the last, he unleashed a powerful technique, knowing full well that it would leave him exposed. I watched as the light left his eyes forever. I'd been the firebird of legend, and I'd been possessed of the power of immortality. Had I been able to rescue him from death's obsidian abyss. And then, the cruelest irony of all. Centuries later, when I finally went through the change, immortality became mine to command. I can but wonder if my bottomless grief for my beloved made it so. The power for which I yearned so desperately, that day is now mine. If not to save him, then perhaps to save those for whom Tenzin died. For the memory of my beloved, for his legacy, I shall fight. Let us go and tell Genbu together, and Prince, thank you. Alrighty, let us speak to Genbu. Oh, I see you're still in one piece. I gather all went well? Okay, serious question here. What is she doing here? I mean, literally, what exactly is her purpose here? Rest assured, elder brother, that I am myself once more. You certainly seem different from before, as if a great weight has been lifted from your shoulders. Your face is a very picture of serenity, I'd say. How very perceptive you are, little one. Indeed, I have at long last come to accept the passing of my beloved Tenzin. At long last indeed, but perhaps such prolonged periods of distress are unavoidable when one lives for more than 1,000 years. I myself am no stranger to melancholy. No, my brother, you most certainly are not. how forgetful of me. I have yet to see how Soroban's training is coming along. Soroban! Soroban! And, yes, I do mean Tataru. I know this joke. It's a Firebird. No, it's an airship. No, genre savvy urchin, for it is in fact. Soroban. I mean, I expected him in some capacity, but not like this. No one told me that this training would lead to such a radical transformation. Look at me, I'm a giant tortoise! A tortoise! I was wrong. This is the very definition of running a joke into the ground. There's no need for panic, Soroban. You probably just recited the words improperly and offered your body as a vessel for a great tortoise kami. That seems to me like a very, very good reason for panic. Unless I will return to normal after a short while. Like with the Tamate Bako of Geomancy. Ah, well, I cannot say with any significant degree of certainty, but you might regain your original form by the time Prince quells Seryu's Iron Mitama. Might? Might? What is this might? It is not an acceptable answer. You must be exhausted from your battle with Suzaku, my friend. Perhaps it would be best if you return to the land above and took a rest. He's right. I doubt we'll be needed here for some time, and Soroban seems to be in no mood for company. Be sure to contact me if anything comes up. I had been meaning to return home, even if only briefly, but given my current state, that seemed unlikely. If you could go in my stead and tell the Elder I am hale and healthy, I would be most grateful. So really all Tataru was there for was essentially the butt of a joke. Alright, back to Tamamizu. Ah, Prince. All is well with our friends beneath Hell's Lid? What of Soroban? How goes his training? Yeah, he's a giant tortoise. He failed to perform a ritual correctly and was transformed into a tortoise, you say? But you are aware that... Oh, I see. This must be some manner of Eorzean joke. How very amusing. A pity we will not see him again for the foreseeable future, but I will trust it is for the best, as before. He should take as much time as required. He is a tortoise, after all. Ha ha ha. No, it still makes no sense to me. And we've learned the emote hum. Alright. And so with that, we have finished up the main scenario quest, as well as the re-release of that dungeon and the Suzaku trial. And so with that, I'm going to end things here for today. Next time, we have a fight back in Omega's lair. If you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I put out a new video. I also have a Discord, link to that is in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.